All right, you guys, we got some new gymnastics for us today. Some really high quality stuff. Well, hopefully this isn't the stream. Okay, all right, we got something going now. Starting off with Air Force today. There you go. Come on, bring it back. That's what I like to see. Anderson here. I think we might have missed the first part of his routine. Started with Arabian double front. Alright, good fight. Way to stay in there. Show that heart in the first start, in the beginning of season. Hello, viewers. How are you all doing? Hope everything's going well and it's good to be back. Excited to be able to bring some gymnastics your guys' way. Shame about the dismount there, but hey, season's long. We got a lot more coming. That's for you. Move on to the next one. Put it to the back of the mind. Sorry for this quality going on right now, guys. I was hoping YouTube would be a little bit better. But here we're watching the Rocky Mountain Open starring Stanford, the Olympic Training Center. We also have Nebraska and Oklahoma, along with Air Force. I think there's a couple other teams, but those are the main ones I think we're going to be focusing in on today. Looks like we've got someone going on parallel bars. I believe that's Nebraska starting up on parallel bars. Got some really good clean swings going on. Wow, you don't really see that Peach support done that well. So I'm very impressed. Very impressed. You keep it up, Nebraska. What up, chat? How is everyone doing? Thanks for joining me on your weekend to watch some gymnastics. And why aren't I watching Windy City Invitational? Well, you know, I don't know where the website is, and I was actually planning on going to this competition, but, you know, I figured I'd probably start just doing some commentary. So this one's local. This one's like 30 minutes away, and a lot of my old teammates are there. So that's kind of why this one's taking priority. But we got our... This quality is just atrocious, guys. Is there any way I can fix this? Let's try... No, I guess not, guys. I want the best for you, but what happens if I do this? Let's try 360. That's still kind of rough, huh? And Christian, great to see you. Hope everything's going well. And Harold, there's your name. I got you, buddy. I got you. Marcos, where's your autograph? I'm sorry, I don't have any to give out right now. Christian, great to see you joining us. We've got Oklahoma up on rings. I wish I had better quality to tell you who that was, but we got some good swings. Good lengthy guy out here. I'm sure he's all about his flow. And Carol, love to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Got a nice little dismount. Looks like rings is a good event just to start getting some hits on, get the first competition jitters out. So I think that's a solid starting point for Oklahoma. Hey, now we've got some quality camera. We got Air Force starting off with a big double-double. Love to see it. Let's go, Upton. 1.5 full. Very nice. I'm sure it's nice being able to have that home court advantage for the Air Force Falcons right now. 2.5 layout. A little over-rotated. It's alright. You can make it up with some other execution later on in this routine. There you go. Take your breath. Take your time. And, Jairson Mello, huge fan of my gymnastics. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Tonight we're going to be a fan of everyone else's gymnastics. There's a lot of great things going on. And Eric, you'd love to see me replace Tim Daggett. Well, I think I got a long ways to go, but it is on my list of things I want to do now that I'm retired. Ooh, short land in there on the ankles. Hope he's all right. Seems like it's a tough go for the very first competition of the year for Air Force, starting off with a couple misses, but all it takes is a couple good routines to bring you back, get that momentum in your favor. But yeah, I don't think I'm NBC ready by any means, but I love watching, love talking gymnastics, and anytime I can share that with others and help people understand it and appreciate it with me, I'll take that as a win. And Nancy, first time watching live, I appreciate you joining in and tuning in. We're hopefully going to be able to get a couple more of these in the future. I don't even know if what I'm doing right now is legal, because this is just a YouTube channel, and I figured I'd just put my face on over it. But if it gets more people watching, I figured no harm done, and if anyone wants me to take it down later, that's fine. At least we get our time live to do it. And that was a really nice full in, or half in, half out laid out on rings right there. Huge height and rotation. I think he's ready for the double-double laid out next. And Videsh, you're a huge fan. Oh, we got someone running down on vaults. Cause full. Looked very nice on their feet. Eric, can we get those tops cards? I'm actually going to find out if I can get those and start using those as giveaways for Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm still waiting to hear back if the ones they sent me I'm supposed to send back to Tops for their distribution, or if it's something where I can just keep that myself and do what I want and give it out to you guys. And that was a huge mount right there. 1.5 double pike. Unfortunate it wasn't to his feet, but man, he's got stones for going big on that one. Full double front. I just can't seem to get his feet down. He's always going to his butt, but that's all right. That's fine. It's a long routine. We got a long day of competition to bring it all back. The wide arm press done from the split. Followed up with another straddle press. Good control, good control. Nice time to refocus, take a breath, and get everything. That was a little difficult transition right there. I'm pretty sure that was a little frustration playing into piece, but it's all right. Maybe he can calm himself down and get his head right back in, because he's still got some dismounts and a couple more. Oh, dismount, triple full was nice. See, he brought it back. He brought it back. And that's what we like to see out there. And any plans for Worlds this year? Only if I can commentate it. I am done with gymnastics for my own self as of right now. And that was a really nice straight planche out there. I can't tell if that's OU right now with how grainy this video is, but it looks like they got some taller gymnasts this year. And I know they're coming in hot. They're highly ranked. I'm pretty sure they're ranked number 2 or 3 within the NCAA for preseason polls. So, I'm expecting a lot of them this year, and I know Mark Williams does a really good job of preparing them and making sure that they're going to go out and hit sets, even if it's the first competition of the season. So I'm excited to see how they battle it out with Stanford, who's got a lot of COVID problems this year. Unfortunately, they're not going to have a full lineup. I think they're pretty limited. Wish I had more information to give you on how limited, but with that being said, I think it's going to be a nice battle between those two teams tonight, and we'll see how the Olympic Training Center does. They don't have a team competing. They got just individuals with Shane Wiskus, Robert Neff. I don't think Eddie Penev's going to be at this one. He's still waiting for championships to recover from his surgery. And then Alex Diab for floor, rings, and vault. He should be doing some big stuff. So looking forward to seeing that. And looks like we've got Pommel Horse getting lined up and ready to go. So we're going to see what they got for us in just a moment. And this is in where's Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy. So not just around the corner from where I did all my training for the past 5 years. I guess we're going to tune over to parallel bars, watch Nebraska do their thing. Nice Hanma. Great height and extension on that. My goodness. Someone's teaching that well over there. Diom, little front uprise. A little wobbly on the handstand, but that's fine. Only attempt deduction. It's better to do that than to take the fall. We got Garrett right now. I remember this guy in the JO program. 2.5 double front. Great pass. Great DD connection for a 2/10 bonus. Unfortunately sat it down, but, that's fine. He's getting his first competition jitters out, and, getting those big skills out and just doing the numbers throughout the season is going to take him a long way. All right, double-double. A little short, but he's on his feet. He's fighting for the landing. Let's see. What has he got for his acrobatic element? Triple Russian. Look at that height and extension. Nice and tight. Great control. He's taking his breaths, getting ready for the last half of his routine. And Brandon, glad I'm still involved in the sport. Glad you appreciate it. I love gymnastics, and if my body didn't hurt so bad, I'd still be doing it myself. But as of right now, I'm just happy to be able to watch and cheer these guys on. My body thanks me for it now. That was a nice full double full right there. That's a tough pass to do so late. He's got some great stamina. Little under-rotated for the triple full, but that's only a 10th. No worries at all there. We'll take that with, we're trying to get us close to 1/10 off on every skill anyways. That's a real perfect 10 for us nowadays, and he did a great job of handling that. I'm sure his stamina is not where it will be once we get NCAA championships coming around in April. So, everyone's just going to, this is the stepping stone for everyone. This is where it starts, and it's only up from there. Too many red men's gymnastics teams. I agree, Chris. What is going on? We need to get some diversity out here. And you were hoping I'd be at the academy watching? I was thinking about it, but, I think with how crazy things are with COVID nowadays, I figured I'd take the safe route and watch it with a bunch of other people and, not take the chance with, getting anyone, being amongst the big crowds right now. Which is good, because now I can just hang out with all you guys and watch gymnastics nonetheless. And is that Minnesota in the maroon and gold? Let me see. I'm going to do a quick Google of everyone that's competing at this competition, because you'd think I'd have all this information before starting a little commentary live stream, but I honestly ran into this last minute. But I want to watch, so I figured why not watch with everyone else. And it looks like OU's still doing their things on rings. Nice and easy routine. We get to watch parallel bars as well. I think that is Minnesota, right? Great Yamawaki work right there. Ooh, got his foot down on that peach full, but wonderful drop. This is some beautiful peach work we're seeing from this guy on P-bars. Jeez. Coming from the skies right there. Looks like OU finished up with a nice ring routine as well. Another hit under the belt for them. And this is a great parallel bar worker. May not have had that first peach full, but man, I know as he crispens that up going through the rest of the season, he's going to be on fire. He's gonna be able to do a lot with that peach work. A little short routine, unless I missed a little bit. And shame about the dismount, but man, there's nothing wrong with his coach who was teaching him his peach basics when he was younger. I'm sure their team is happy to have him. We got a little stall going on right now, but I'm going to take this time to get my Rocky Mountain Open stats up a little bit. Let's see who we're working with. Why can't we use this camera more often? This is really crisp right here. Have you watched the Weight of Gold documentary? Yes, I have, Elias. It was a good documentary, and there are definitely some severe cases which they seem to highlight quite a bit. However, I don't think I don't want that to be the impression that all athletes are to that degree of depression or anxiety or suicidal for that fact. There's many ways and shapes that mental health takes, and I thought they were really, really pushing the limits, and I didn't want everyone to think that that's how everyone feels as the Olympics comes and goes, because there's a lot of positivity to go along with it, and there is a little drop off, but I think to the same degree, if everyone has the right methods of coping and of having a healthy outlet, I think that we're already doing a lot of good things within the community to make sure everyone's well taken care of, and we can start putting this type of the extremes, the cases that people don't deal with on a regular basis, and make that as minimal of a problem in the future. And it looks like we've got, I think this is Nebraska up on P-Bars, guys. My Google's not working right now, so I cannot tell you everything that's going on with with the teams, but I know this is Nebraska, and they've been coming up quite a bit within the NCAA system. They're putting up big scores. They're consistent hitters, and their team has really been on the rise the past couple years. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with throughout this season. And Jill Bean, do I have any future plans to commentate events, coaching, guest coaching, any big summer camps? No, I'm actually starting to put some clinics together once again with my old teammate Jordan Garenstrom. So we can have that to look forward to in the future. I applied for the head coach position for the Olympic Training Center. Did not get it. Went to my old teammate Syke Caesar, but I know he's going to do a great time, or he's going to be great with that program. I applied for Michigan and Stanford assistant coach jobs, but I actually ended up passing on those recently. I didn't get the Michigan job, but I did get offered for the Stanford job, and I just wasn't ready to jump into a big move like that and go into coaching as an assistant right away. And I wanted to give a go for commentating, and so my agent and I just had a conversation recently about getting into commentating, and hopefully I can get a couple gigs throughout this season and be able to make a future within this career. So I figured I'll start today by just talking gymnastics with all you guys live streaming. So appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting me on my new journey, if I can say this is the beginning of the journey, but why not? I'll say it is. Have I thought about judging, Nick? No, but I am actually thinking about taking the judging course so that as I continue trying to commentate, I'll be well informed with all the rules and the skills and everything that has come along with this new code, since I haven't really been all too into, I haven't been focused myself on what the goals for this new code are. So I'm planning on getting a little more informed into, what routine composition is going to work well and what bonus structures are going to be benefited throughout this season. And Clay, it's great to see you too. Josh, great to see you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Eric, thanks for the information. We've got Oklahoma, Nebraska, Air Force, Stanford, and Arizona State. All right. Sun Devils are there as well as the Olympic Training Center. Haven't seen anything of them. It looks like they are up on High Bar, if I can guess correctly, based off those white uniforms. But that's all I've got right now. And I'd love to be at all these competitions. So I appreciate you guys supporting me and telling me that I should keep this going. Cody, always going to be real and honest with you. Isn't that what we all want in this world? Just some more honesty and good vibes. Not trying to create no more drama out here, that's for sure. And what up, Just That Dom? How are you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the stream while these guys warm up for their second rotation. You want me and Peng Peng commentating nationals? Hey, I'd be down. It would be kind of... What nationals are you talking about? NCAAs? I know John Roethlisberger is definitely... He seems to be the lead right now for a lot of the NCAA commentating positions. So if he ever gets sick or if he ever wants to step out, I'll gladly take his spot. And then obviously you got Tim Daggett at the top with the NBC contract. So hoping one day I can, fill in those roles and talk gymnastics with everyone and stay well informed and give you guys the inside scoop on a lot of the athletes. But till then, we're going to work with grainy YouTube channel streaming. But I can't say I want to be a judge. It would be nice just to be informed so I can always give you guys the best information in terms of rules. But beyond that, it's going to be a little... I don't think that's the path I necessarily want to go down right now. But really what I'm going for is just making sure I can stay involved in the sport somehow, and this seems to be the best way for me to go about it. At least what's speaking to my heart. All right, we got a little better quality with that refresh. And you said Peng Peng, she commentated at Nationals last year? Are you serious? I need it. Oh, team trials. Wow. I had no idea. I thought NBC was in control of trials. I thought Peng Peng was just, she was just the hype woman for trials. That's what she was. And Gavin, what do I think of defs? Oh, I think that is a very very risky and highly rewarded skill. So I'm hoping we can see quite a few of those on high bar this competition. Yeah, we need to get a little better quality. I think things have just gotten started on floor. And yes, ASU is at this meet, Tracy. I don't know what event they're on right now, but we have Air Force on Pommel Horse. I don't know who is on floor right now. We have, let's see, Oklahoma was on rings, so they are now on vaults. And it looks like ASU is on parallel bars, so they had just finished up on vault right there. And how you doing, Jeff? Hope everything's going well for you. And Leah, oh, his name is Hazen. Your son? Oh, well, tell Hazen I said hello. Quality of your frame is on point. The gym is fuzzy. Yeah, I know, Lyle. I wish we had better cameras over at the Air Force to create a less grainy competition, but right now this is all we got to give. You know, as I hopefully progress through this career, maybe we can get some better quality. Jeff, you love gymnastics? Well, glad to have you, and I'm right there with you. And Tara, how are you doing? Great to see you back here as well. And I've been doing great. Just been enjoying my time out of the sport. Ooh, triple Russian in the middle of the horse. That's a E value skill. Very difficult, but he made that look super easy. We got the tongue fei right there. He's fighting hard. He's got his team on his back. And Tara, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was a great time out in Tokyo, and it was a wonderful cap to the career. And Ashley, I've been wonderful. How have you? I guess I can take some time to get some questions in while this is paused. Hopefully we can see a hit routine all the way through soon. And we jumped over. Or at least we get a little bit of high bar, so that should be exciting. Nebraska, they've got some good swinging high bars, so I'm excited to see what kind of show they can put on for us today. And Benny, yeah, actually, I'm just recently, someone from Cameo reached out to me, and I'm about to start getting in on that. So stay tuned. It should be within the next coming weeks. I should be able to get onto Cameo and offer some opportunities for the public. And oh, you say they got Pikachu tails on the uniforms? No, that's just the Air Force Eagle lightning bolt right there. But yeah, they do have some Captain America look right there. And hey, Haley, how are you doing? Glad to see you back on here. And what's the hardest part of trials? Well, I would have to say, Elias, it's the pressure. Knowing that making the Olympic team is on the line, and everything you do is hopefully to the best of your ability. And we just saw a wonderful peach backflip on parallel bars. You don't see many of those, so exciting to see. Kristen, I believe Oklahoma is on vault right now, and that is Nebraska on high bar, because they had just rotated from parallel bars. But soon enough, they will be there, and boomer sooner for you. And yeah, I am still in Colorado Springs. Things have been going well out here. This is home, so I appreciate being able to be close to this competition and still live in the mountains. And make sure my dog has a very good opportunity to still have a big yard. And, you know, while I figure out what's going to happen next in my life, this is home. and I'll keep it home until I have to move. And we can watch a little bit of high bar in the back. We've got some great pommel horse in the front, though. This is beautiful circle, great extension. He's got tight swing all the way through. Now he's just got to stay cool, calm, and collected as he goes through the rest of his routine. Always gets hard at this point going into the dismount, especially with the adrenaline pumping. He finishes nicely. His team should be happy with that one. And Tara, no, I haven't officially retired from gymnastics. I'll officially retire once the end of Winter Cup concludes, because that's when they'll reselect the national team, and that is when I will officially announce my retirement. And doing any gaming streams too? No, I don't think, not yet at least. We'll see what happens in the future. Just haven't been too big into the gaming scene recently, but I think until I get something a little more substantial in a professional career, that's going to be on hold so I can keep my priorities where they need to be. And you wish you could have had your national team camp at the training center, but they moved us. I wish you guys could have too. It's crazy times we're living in. Eventually it'll get back to normal and people will be able to watch or go to the training center once again. They need to do it because it's a wonderful facility. So hopefully that'll be in the books really soon for you guys. And yeah, Ashley, that was a very clean pommel horse routine. It was nice to see Air Force bouncing back after a little bit of a shaky start on floor. So hopefully they can turn that momentum around and make a positive push throughout the rest of the competition. And Eric, you drank the last can of your mate, bros? Oh, you hoarded it back in the day. Would you ever consider bringing it back? No, I don't think I plan on bringing it back. It was a fun adventure, but I don't think my heart's quite in it like it once was. So that was the reason we stopped in the first place. But I appreciate you being such a big fan and enjoying it. There are a lot of other yerba mate drinks out there to keep you sustained, and I think that it's a great product, and I'm glad you were able to enjoy it. And hopefully you'll be able to continue drinking mate like I do. And Mackenzie, it was an honor to watch you on my TV for the trials in Tokyo Olympics. You did awesome in Tokyo. Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. It's definitely been a lot of fun throughout the years. No regrets. Just honestly blessed to be to have the opportunities that I've had, and I can look back with a smile on my face and say it was all worth it. Do you have a favorite event to watch as a spectator? I mean, gymnastics, mainly because I know that raw emotion that goes into every routine and all the turns of hard work behind the scenes that goes along into it. But if I had to pick something other than gymnastics, I mean, I've been really big into football this past season, so I think that's probably the thing I'm the best spectator for as of recently. It's great you have shared your personal gymnastics journey dealing with the pressure and stress to help other athletes. Thank you. You're very welcome, and I'm just glad people were there to listen and other people could relate, and I was able to bring a positive influence into the world of mental health. So thank you very much for your kind words. And Jeff, my dogs are super cute. I appreciate that. I think so too. Let me see if I can reload this page, because it's a bit of a bummer that we cannot watch this. All right, we got something moving at least. And another buffer. Sorry, guys. We're going to do what we got to do nonetheless. How will we catch up with the rest of the world? Is it even possible for men's artistic specifically? Well, to be honest, we are making a lot of moves. We've just implemented a new code for men's gymnastics where we're going to have a start value bonus system for Winter Cup, and it's going to be the higher start value you have this year, the more you can, you're pretty much going, let's say you have a 6.0 start value on pommel or on high bar. So because you have a 6.0 start value, that means you now have a bonus of, I think, about 8/10. And there's a bracket. So every 10th higher above 6.0 you get, you're going to have a start value bonus, and it's going to be exponentially growing based off how high above 6.0 you get. And this is just a rough guess for me. I know there's specifics on it, but this is hypothetical. But this system is implemented. I don't know it specifically. This is just the example I'm giving. But with this system, if you are pushing high level difficulty, if you make a mistake, you're not as drastically inhibited with your mistake. You're actually rewarded by doing harder stuff to push the level of difficulty for the US and to be competitive with the rest of the world. So I think this year is going to be a year where people are throwing big start values, harder gymnastics, and there might be a lot more mistakes, but it's going to be a stepping stone for the future as we lead into the next Olympics for Paris, so that people can get more difficult routines under their belt while not feeling the pressure that they need to just go and hit low difficulty routines that are clean just to make the national team. Now people can risk higher and more difficult gymnastics and still be able to make the national team even if it doesn't go well. But you're hoping it does, and that they're very skilled and that they'll be rewarded beyond just hitting their routine and getting the score that they might get nationally. An unfortunate fall. It looks like Air Force is having a little bit of a tough time, but horse is one of those events. That's where the nerves get you the most. The jitters are at its peak, especially in this arena right now. From my personal experience, it gets really loud. There's a lot of people coming to watch. There's a JO competition that happened earlier. Lots of kids there watching as well. So it's exciting that you're able to put yourself in these situations. And what you do once you have these moments like this, you're able to reflect on in the future and figure out what went wrong. You just got to be real honest with yourself and learn from your mistakes, because if we don't grow throughout this sport, what makes it worth doing, right? Everything's about being challenged and uncomfortable, and then every time you make a mistake, how can you overcome that in the future competitions? And that's what makes you good. And I think that there's going to be a lot of time for reflection for these guys. And even when things go perfect, there's something to reflect on. But knowing that there's things to improve is always what keeps you hungry in this sport. And a tough time on horse for Upton right there, but I know that this kid and their whole team's going to pick them back up, and they're going to bounce back and bring some more high energy as they continue through this competition. And Francis, how are you doing? Sorry this keeps pausing, but at least I get to talk to you guys a little bit more, so there's some positivity on that. Do you keep in touch with your teammates from the competition, Olympics? Yeah, I do. Jake actually reached out to me the other day. I've talked to Alex somewhat recently. Talked to Brooks very briefly just to congratulate him on his engagement. And let's see who else. And I mean, I still stay in touch with Yoder, Brody, Ewell, Shane quite a bit. So we're all tight knit, especially this most recent crew. It was a lot of fun, and we definitely got some lifelong commitments and relationships from that. So very blessed, very blessed. Dylan, what's my favorite event to watch? It's always high bar. Also my favorite event to compete. Now we get to watch a little bit of parallel bars. Stanford has a huge team. All this front uprise work is highly rewarded. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so upset this has to pause, because this is a huge routine on parallel bars. I believe it's a 6.9 start value with all that front uprise Dion work. And there we go. We get a little bit of pommel horse. Wonderful sewn right there. To the cure. Oh, insane. Oh, parallel bars just fell off. It looked like he was doing so well on that as well. Not sure what happened there, but this is some great circle on pommel horse by Hoops here. Great extension. Little bit of a fight, but that's fine. He gets back. Looks like that was going to be a reverse Roth. Unfortunately, came off. Looks like he leaned a little too far down onto his left side. But man, things were getting heated out here. You guys hear that crowd going nuts? That was exciting. And let's see how he finishes up. There you go. Take your breaths. I know pommel horse is exhausting, man. I get it. There you go. Especially in that cold Colorado weather. There we go. We've got some great... Oh, a Belinky. Never mind. That's even better. Exciting to see. Did that so well. Right into a double Russian, I believe that was. Nice dismount. Man, that would have been a great routine had there not been that mistake. Looked like some good difficulty. And he's still jazzed. Look at this man. There you go. Keep your teammates' charisma high. That's always appreciated from a teammate. I'm glad they're so excited about that and they're able to, see the positivity within the mistake as well. Yeah, pommel horse always gets you, guys. Always gets you. And Allison, hello from Scotland. How are you? Thanks for tuning in from Scotland. I'm doing well and hope you're doing well as well. And Amber, thanks for doing this. Happy to hear you were going for the commentary. Sad that you passed on Stanford. Yeah, it was a tough decision passing on it. But I think I just knew deep down inside that I wasn't ready to start coaching. I'm not knocking it off as something I won't do in the future, but I just knew that I wanted to give commentary a go before my name dropped off the face of the earth, and while my name is still fresh out there. So I don't know. I also like being on camera. I think it's fun being able to express gymnastics in a positive light, and I find a lot of passion doing that. And I think there's a lot I can do within that realm, especially going with the mental health aspect of everything I've gone through and being able to put a positive spin onto what can be a tough time for a lot of these athletes. Despite the streaming issue, I hope you keep doing this. I hope so too. I hope I can pull together and work with someone that can have a better quality camera in the future. But I'll take this for a start. So I appreciate you working through this with me, even though it's grainy. Jackie, take care. And awesome to see you. This was amazing. I appreciate you saying that. And thanks for tuning in. And let's see what we got on parallel bars. Following up that big parallel bar routine, I'm not sure if this is the anchor, which is going to pull in a bigger routine than the last one we saw with all those front uprise work. But that is a wonderful Hanma right there. High quality stuff. Great Healy. Let me move my face for you guys real quick. All right, Peach. Peach work is going well. Peach half. Nice and clean. Oh, very nice. The Peach backflip as well. Stanford is just teaching these left and right, and I love to see it. It's such exciting gymnastics. Bell, very nice as well. We got the front uprise into the front 1 1/4. Man, he is just cranking through this routine. It looks like he's rock solid. Double pike dismount. All right, and that's a great hit to follow up with a fall. So way to carry the team on your back right there. Invertius can make that happen. Hey, I would love to work with you guys, Amber. I'm definitely interested in anything you... Are you guys running a lot of competitions this year? I know you guys were very instrumental last year in that saving the NCAA competition or competitive season, just being able to host virtual competition. So we're grateful for your opportunity to make that happen so quickly throughout Corona. And Dylan, I have this is actually my girlfriend's dog. I'm dating someone new now, and that is Pearl, and I have my dog Marshall, and Lily and Barney are with Mia out in North Carolina. And Chris, if I need a co-commentator for banter and such, you're available. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to do the solo show for a little while, but if something happens in the future with Vertius, as Amber's starting to reach out, maybe we can pull something together that way. And shout out for David Abbey of Rocky Mountain Pride? RM Pride, is that what RM stands for? And Tara, you're watching the playoffs? I don't blame you. I actually am curious how that's all panning out as well. Unfortunate timing, but gymnastics takes my priority today. But I am going to do a quick Google search of that because I'm curious. We need new doggy emotes. That we do, Josh. And just a handful of duels: Stanford, Cal, William and Mary. Okay, that's it. Why can't you guys get more? Because is there some contracts that I don't know of based off the NCAA season for men's gymnastics? Because I thought you guys would be, after last year, I thought you guys would have a lot more than just that. Oh, we got a long rotation for Stanford today. That was a nice Hanma there. Healy. Seems like a strong starting two for the Stanford team. Peach half. Oh, very quick. Locked arms on the Peach. Oh, great giant. Look at that extension. Into the laid out Suarez. You love to see that for an E. Not many guys do that. You'll see Yule do that. And that's about it in terms of the U.S. for other guys that I've seen do that skill. Great front 1.25 there. This is a great routine. Double pike. Stick. Oh, that is a good one to end on to keep the momentum moving for Stanford. They are looking great today. Wish I could have seen more of their vaults for that last rotation, but I knowing Stanford, I'm sure they did a wonderful job because they've got some high-level difficulty vaults, and I know that they were slamming. Vault's also one of those events. You can run down and hit it hard, and you'll be on your feet. The nerves don't really seem to get you as much on vault as it does on pommel horse. And way to go, Sam. My son loves you. He's a level 8 in Katy, Texas. Oh, well, tell him I said good luck with the rest of his season. I know things are just getting started, but, glad to see he's loving it and enjoying his journey throughout the sport. Dominic, always check the times during the Olympics to see when you are on to support you from Germany. Love your passion and positivity. Well, I appreciate the kind words, Dominic. Tara, the Bills are beating the Patriots. Oh, that's an exciting matchup right there. That's for sure. Who else is playing today? I know someone else is getting it going, but how bad's the beating? I'm going to see. Bills game. I'll keep you guys tuned. We're going to do gymnastics and football today. Ooh, 14-0. Bills are beating the Patriots. And yeah, Ashley, Stanford always has some really good P-bar workers. That they do. I'm honestly very impressed, especially with all that front uprights Dion work I was seeing. I got a video from Tom showing me that routine actually a couple weeks ago when I was in the loop with the Stanford guys for a little bit. And it was a 16.9 start value. Like, absolutely insane. That is world contender. Like, that's world gold medal contending right there. It's going to be hard to beat Xiao Yuan, but, I think if he has a little form break or something, that 16.9 routine is going to be up there for medal contention. Now we just need to see him go to Winter Cup and qualify that parallel bar spot so he can make it into the World Cup series. As this year, we're not having all-around World Cups. It's just individual World Cups. Let's see. And your son Joe just started competing this year. He's level 3. He wants me to tell you he's a big fan and loves watching you. Well, I appreciate that, and hopefully over the years I can enjoy watching him. And yeah, now we're going into rotation 3. Stanford will be on high bar, which should be a very exciting rotation to watch. They've got some high-flying releases, and they like to throw on the big risk for the start value. They've got a lot of national team members on that team, and they are leading the way in terms of setting the bar for start value for our U.S. national team program. Let's see if we can get a little... Let me do a refresh on this. See if we can get some better quality. No, looks like sound's died too, but that is quite all right. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting year because all around it does not seem to be rewarded for the international competitive scene like it used to. Lots of individuals, but that's good for U.S. The U.S. needs to get some higher start values, and You know, once you're at the Olympics, you want to have already built your name for yourself in the international scene. So hopefully we can get a lot of guys throwing out some big routines, go compete internationally, get the judges to recognize them, get a little rapport around them, so that when they do get out onto the big world and Olympic stages, the judges can have some level of respect other than what they're already about to see in front of them. Looks like everyone is still warming up on going into their third rotation. And Cody, how do you think Michigan men's gymnastics will do this year? I always want them to win, but I think if I'm going to be an impartial realist, it's going to be a competition for second between them and Oklahoma. So that's going to be a fun battle to really go underway as the season continues. But I think Stanford right now just has too much start value going for them that Michigan and Oklahoma don't have. Enough that they could probably make a few mistakes and still take the victory. But that's just my personal opinion right now. You never know with sports. You never know with gymnastics. But we're going to see where things go from there. And the Save Men's Gymnastics Foundation would like to thank you for all your support. Well, my pleasure. Actually, I was... let me see if I still got it on me. So I rock your guys' masks all the time. So I'm always supporting. You guys also have very comfy masks. So thank you for making those. Who's going to win Windy City, Eric? I'm putting my money on Michigan hands down. I think they're going to take it. And you know what? Let me see if I can pull up some stuff. Let's see. Windy City live stream. Live stream men's gymnastics. Let me just see if there is one. Is this... Oh, this is. Oh, maybe we can bounce back and forth. Let's compare streams right now. Oh, wait. Is it already over? Oh, that was 8 hours ago? Well, I don't know, guys. We're going to go back to this competition where we know things are happening. There isn't? I tried. I could have just used you rather than take you guys on my little web search journey. Scott Kemps. Oh, good to see you tuning into the stream. I miss you, my guy. Hope everything's going well. And, oh, did we win? Is that what you're saying, Scott? Michigan took the dub? I had no doubts at all that Michigan was going to take the dub. Let me just, I'm sure you posted out some things, being the social media manager out there. Clearly, Air Force needs to invest in better cameras. Oh, you were an Army officer, giving them a hard time, as you should. Maybe you can put in a good word for them to upgrade a little bit. There isn't. Ohio State has one. Oh, and it's live in Chicago right now? All right. Well, fingers crossed. Looks like we can see high bar in the back as well as Air Force on rings. Huge layout to Tkachev into the straddle. I think he was into a one-arm giant. And on rings we have a wonderful giant there. Great Yamawaki work. You're going to see a lot of those for the swinging elements for pretty much every gymnast that's going to be competing on rings. You don't have many options. And a half in, half out. Not too shabby. Looks like high bar. Nice little half talk. Things are going well. Wish we could see a little bit, but some good cheers for the guys on the Air Force bench right there. And a stuck dismount on high bar. Can't say I got to see that routine in its entirety, but I can't complain with the stuck dismount, and I'm sure their team's happy with that as well. Didn't seem like they had any falls or major errors. That's a good leadoff man right there. And Jenny, would I ever consider getting into coaching for men's gymnastics? Maybe at some point, but I don't think my heart is totally sold into getting into that right now. I really appreciate not being in the gym every single day right now, and until that goes away, will I actually consider it. I would love to work with the high-level athletes at anyone that's trying to be in the competitive scene internationally. Those are the type of athletes I'd like to work with, but unfortunately, my heart's just really not into getting into the routine of day in, day out, living in the gym again. But I'm sure that will fade eventually, and I'd be down to do that. But whenever it speaks out to me, then I'll go for it. But until then, I'm going to go into commentating. And Michigan's winning right now. Awesome. I love to see it. And yeah, we have Windy City and Rocky Mountain Invitational are the qualifiers to get into our Winter Cup competition in February. So, you know, these competitions matter, and they're competing against each other for those spots. And you're going to need a lot of, I think it's the top 3 all-arounders automatically qualify. And if you were already within the national team scene and competed at Winter Cup last year, you're pre-qualified. But if you're outside of that, you need to bump yourself up through this competition in Windy City to be able to make it and a try for the national team. We're going to slide me over here so that we can watch a little bit of the P-bars. Nice little moist support coming from the ends. Looks like a good Healy. I believe he's successful. Fingers crossed. But he looks like he's in a good spot. There it is. Skipped over the rest of the routine, but that's life for us today. A peach support. Looks like he's going to take a breath and settle in before he does his dismount. Let's hope we can keep this camera angle for high bar so that we can watch with a little more detail. Hate looking this angle, though, because you never know if they're too far or too close for their releases. You can only hope that they're putting it spot on. And out here waiting for one-arm giant on rings to become a skill, Dylan. I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. I think they would ban that if someone were to put that out there. That's just way too much pressure for the shoulder socket. And Nebraska Facebook has a cleaner stream of their floor, but also having buffering challenges. Yeah, that seems to be the future. We just need more Vertius out here because they do a great job of that. And that was actually a really nice Hanma cross. And he's holding it forever, guys. This is amazing. They should give virtuosity for that. And Rock, you've been following my career since I was a teen. Daga always believed you'd be great, so I kept an eye on you. I see you and Nastia commentating mainstays in the future. Hey, my fingers are crossed. I'm not trying to kick anyone out, but I'd love to be able to be there in Tim Daggett's shoes one day. And Anthony, maybe some commentary could be in your future. Uncle Tony, fingers are crossed we can get that. And Tara, am I competing in Winter Cup? No, I am done competing. I don't think I'll get back in the gym forever. My body has told me too many times that it's time to retire, so I'm listening. And Boom Boom Ray, good to see you too. Dylan, he's stalling? Yeah, he's stalling in that cross for a long time. It was a bummer. I feel like we're not even watching gymnastics at this point. It's just me talking to you guys all the time. And always had trouble streaming from Air Force. Not enough bandwidth in the clouds. Yeah, you know, that altitude gets you in more ways than just physically. And then at least we get to hear a little bit of sound with this one now. Hanma to start. Oh, beautiful McCoots. Very little pause. I would not take a deduction on that. Great height and extension as he reaches for that as well. Very clean lines. Great toe point. Front up rise. Take a little breath. Take some time before your peach to support. Now you get a little more time to think about things. Think about what's for dinner. And then you get into the dismount double pike. Great landing. Looks like that's going to be a great routine for him. I'm not sure. I think this is... Is this Arizona? ASU competing right now? And yeah, the nerves definitely can get you on pommel horse. That's for sure. And Brian Knott, how you doing, man? It's been a while since I've chatted with you. Hope everything's well. Glad to see you're still tuning in and watching. I know you're cheering on your Stanford boys. I wish we could see a little bit more of them, though. Terry, you're going to miss seeing me compete. You know, I'll miss competing, and I appreciate that you'll miss it too, but, you know, everything has to move on, and someone great is going to fall into the footsteps, and there are going to be a lot of great gymnastics for you to watch outside of me. We got Garrett here doing some great straight planche work. This man is strong. Coming out from Cypress Gymnastics in Texas. He's a very talented gymnast, and I think Air Force did a really good job with recruiting this guy. He's got some very high-level difficulty gymnastics. And yeah, I think we'll see a lot of that. We saw a little bit of that on floor. Wow. I couldn't tell with how grainy it was, but was that a double-double laid out? It could have just been a really quick twisting half in, half out laid out, but nonetheless, I think he could either start doing the double-double laid out, or he did it right there, and that was very impressive. Now we got some great high bar. We saw the Kovacs just a second ago into the Tkachev and Stalder. Flying Giant. Looks like he's cranking up for the dismount. Sounds like Stanford's getting really rowdy out there. Another stuck dismount to get the stick train rolling. Love seeing it, and that does a lot for morale within the stands and within the bench as well. Amps up the next guy to follow up. We're going to move me again. I'm just going to hang out in the middle right now. Alright, Peach at the ends. Bold choice. But I like the routine construction right into a Tapelt. And Brian, you're out living in New York City? Very nice. Living in that hustle and bustle. Glad to hear it. Hope everything's going well out there. We got Giant into the front uprise. In the ends, he's doing a Moy to the middle. Alright, and we're going to slide on over. Hopefully P-Bars ends up well. Going into Air Force onto their next ring routine. It's time to get jacked up. Rings is one of those events where you can just let all the adrenaline, just use it for your advantage. Other events, you might want to tone it down. You don't want to get too juiced. But rings, it's all about getting pumped. This is where you want your teammates getting real loud and rowdy for you. This helps you hold those positions just a little bit longer. And that was a double-double. Love to see that. Big dismount for Garrett right there. Starting off with the Maltese. Into the straddle L. And do a straight planche. Air Force is doing a really good job with teaching those straight planches. Did it from a press, so he has a C value. If he does the back uprise into it, it upgrades 1/10 into the D. There we go. Into the straddle planche. Into a giant through. Double-double dismount. Wow. He really pulled hard on that. Don't normally see a giant through from a planche into the dismount. Usually you do a giant and then you do a giant through so you can create a little more momentum, but it seems like that wasn't an issue for him. Just saw the Takamoto had another extra circle in there. Not quite sure what they're going to do with that, but followed it up with a wonderful connected straddle to pike to Tkachev. Those are now in different boxes with this new code, so that's exciting that we can see a few more of those this year. Into a double-double dismount. Very interesting routine construction right there. Not sure how many skills he was doing, if that was 10 or not, but, you know, he's doing some hard things, and I think that's going to build up into a really big routine later this year. And the Winter Beach Blast Meet in Galveston is going on now. Today's competition was awesome. Your son needs a big shout out from you. You're one of his heroes. Well, good luck, Hayden. I hope the competition went well and that it continues going well for you as well. Uh-oh, I'm dragging the wrong thing. But yeah, best of luck. I'm looking forward to seeing you compete in the future. And Tara, yeah, Kohei retired. The GOAT, the king himself, is done. I think we all saw that coming. But, you know, glad to see that, you know, he's able to, you know, put gymnastics on the back burner, focus on his family, and I think appreciate everything that he's been able to do for the sport. Because we're all going to miss him. It's going to suck not having him in gymnastics anymore. But there's a lot of up-and-comers that are willing to take his place. And, oh, Paige. Oh, he competed today. Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully everything went well, and he was able to slam out all of his routines, and season continues to go well as he preps up for nationals. Now we got a little bit of stall going on here, guys. Just go Sean White. I think we're all cheering for him, too. Wrong sport, but that's all right. We can have anyone tune in, and that's the beauty of live streaming and interacting with you guys. And will you say good job, Paige? Oh, yeah, of course. Great job, Paige. And so happy that you competed in the Sweetheart Invitational today. Hope everything went well. And now we've got someone on high bar. Let's see if we can get a big routine. That was a nice Yamawaki. He got his back turned to the bar very well. Winding up for some double flipping releases that we probably won't get to see. Either a Casina, a Kovacs, or a Coleman. And hopefully he was able to put that down. Tara, oh, the Bengals beat the Raiders earlier today. That was a great game. Came down to the last play. I wish I had seen that. Football has been very interesting to watch. Oh, there we go. Oh, it was a Coleman. He missed it. But unfortunate he missed it. But lucky for us that we get to see the rest of his routine. Because now we're going to continue. And let's see if he repeats it. Looks like he just pulled a little too much on that. No, he's not going to repeat it. But he's going to do the layout to Kachev. Play it safe. It'll be a hit to the start value. But you know, better than falling again and not getting it and having another point deduction. So, smart call on the coach there. We got the half talk. He's a little short, but I'm sure he's a little winded right now. Double-double. It's all right. Stanford has had a lot of hit routines on high bar. A lot of stuck landings. So, they might not count that with the system they have right now. I believe they're in a 6-4 format. And then at Winter Cup, they're going to go 6-5. Actually, no, I think they're 5-up, 4 scores count. So that's actually, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the case. And then once Winter Cup is done, they'll stay at 5-5, 5-up, 5 count score format. And Tony just got home from the cow meet. Dude, man, did some things. First place high bar. Oh, I love to see it. My cousin TJ just is in his senior year competing gymnastics, so great to hear he did well. I watched all his videos on Instagram, and it looks like he's doing good, and he's primed for a good season. And let's see, this P-bar routine's going real well. Nice and clean. Double front half. The half isn't rewarded like it used to. It's still the same value as a double front, and a lot of guys are opting to stay with just a double front. But honestly, in my opinion, it's easier to stick the double front half. So glad to see that that hasn't been killed with the new code of points, and that someone's still rocking it out. And the Bills are up 21-0. Love to see it. All right. This game's getting really intense, and the Bills need some love, that's for sure. Patriots have had it for too long. And Paige, you missed it. Well, congratulations, Paige. Hope you had a wonderful competition. Sorry you missed it, but I'll send it again your way right now. And in general, after release fall, Tom sides not to repeating and taking one big deduction rather than risking multiple. Sounds good. Yeah. That sounds smart. That's the Stanford way. I think Tom does a really good job of managing that as well. It all depends. I've had many circumstances where I've fallen and I know I can make the change. And sometimes you'll see guys be like, no, I'm going to call an audible and I'm going to go for the release. And huge Casina right there. Not sure who this is. Followed with the Coleman. But this is the big flying, high-flying gymnastics we wanted to see from Stanford. And that was a layout to Kachev into the straddle. Not sure if it was a layout or a pike, to be honest. But this angle really doesn't do a good job of showing you what angles people have going over the bar. But followed into the Stalder Flying Giant. And I mean, we're taking a hit routine right here. No complaints to follow up the fall on the routine before. And I know Stanford's going to be pumped to see that. Getting juiced with those big releases. Casinas and Colemans. You love to see it. That's start value at its finest. And that's what Stanford does well. Next live feed, bring back the mullet for your from my Instagram post. Nah, you know, I could be down for that, but maybe I'll just grow one out myself. No, that's not a good look. I don't think anyone wants to see that. If we ever have a live stream where we're just doing it for fun, I'll try pulling that out for you. All right, maybe for an event or two. And wait, double front half is the same as double front? Yeah, I think there's once you do it, you'll know that double front half really isn't that much harder than the double front. It makes sense, honestly, to me, having done it so much. Double pike, though, and double pike half, those are still different. Double pike half is upgraded from a double pike, and that makes sense because having to kick out and do the half on a double pike is much harder than a double front where you're pulling the entire way. And, oh, that's Curran? Dang, I didn't know Curran had such a high bar routine as well. And he was actually the guy on P-bars that had that 6'9" start value. So that was some big stuff as well. Curran, man, he's making a great case for a specialist out here. Not sure if he's actually trying to get back into the all-around. I think last conversation I had with Tom, he's just going to be a couple event specialist. But it's glad to see him rocking out that big boy set right there. And it's a shame we don't have Brody out here, but I know he's healing up from an ankle scope and he's getting ready for Winter Cup. So excited to see him throughout this season because he's gonna be the one to watch, that's for sure. But no, I don't think he's competing today. How's Donnell? I haven't heard much from Donnell yet in quite some time. He was at the national team camp in December, but beyond that, he seemed like he was doing well. I don't think he's really ramped up quite yet. I don't think he's going to be competing until Winter Cup, but we'll see him then. We will see him then, I believe, and we'll see exactly how much work he's been putting in and how pumped he is for season. I know he's always an exciting one to watch, and he's got a lot to bring in terms of start value to our national team. And I would imagine since double front is blind, it would be worth more. You could make the case. Doing the double front half, you get to spot the landing a lot more. But I don't think in terms of difficulty, is it harder. But if anything, you're just taking a deduction, which could, in a way, be seen as a drop from the net value of their score if it's harder to stick. So if you're not sticking them all like you would on a double front half, not necessarily worth more in terms of difficulty, but could be worth less in terms of your landing deductions. And Fabian, welcome back. Missed the streams. Greeting from New Zealand. Thanks for tuning in from New Zealand. Appreciate you being here. And Curran's preseason videos have been super impressive, making moves. Yeah, honestly, I'm putting my money on him for being a specialist going into the World Championships this year. If he keeps on this path that he's on. And was Donnell injured at the Tokyo trials? No, he wasn't injured. I just don't think... All right, he did have a couple issues. I don't think none that kept him from competing entirely, but it really ended up that he was just trying to make that specialist spot on that last day of trials. And yeah, Yule came in 4th in Worlds. He was so close to medaling. I know, I was really pulling for him. That would have been a huge accomplishment. If only, I can't remember if his fall on rings was... No, because the guy who got 3rd and Yule both fell on rings. So I guess if Yule hadn't fallen on rings, that might have been enough for him to find his spot onto the podium. But I think if the guy who got 3rd had also not fallen on rings, we can always play the what if game, and that's gymnastics. But I think he's super happy to come in 4th at that World Championships, and I'm sure it lit a fire under him to keep him pushing going into this new season. And I think Yule's actually in the crowd watching and supporting his Oklahoma brothers today. Yeah, now we are just warming up for the next rotation. And Irene, who's David Abbey? I would love to know what team he's from, so I can keep that information rolling. And if anyone has any updates on, well, let me see if I can pull it up, on the Windy City Invitational. Windy City Gymnastics meet. Let's see if I can pull up some final results. Actually, Twitter might be the better option for live scoring. And, oh, he's on rings now. Oh, awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm not seeing any of the Olympic Training Center out here. Kind of a bummer. Wish I could see more of their events, but hopefully there'll be some postings after this competition concludes on social media. It's hard to talk about D-scores sometimes because it's often harder stuff is legit harder, but also more consistent. Yeah, I mean, it's all about playing to your strengths and seeing what you're best at, what you can do well, and what you're going to do without the least amount of deductions. Maybe you're chucking casinas, but you're getting 3 to 5 tenths off every time you do it, in which case it's not worth it. But oh, there we go. We got a big casino right there. Nice. Coleman as well. Wow, that's quite the warm-up, and you're ready to go, sir. Keep an eye out for that routine right there. That's going to be huge. And Danny, what gym stuff you working on at the moment? I'm doing nothing, man. I'm trying to put on the keg rather than the six-pack nowadays. I haven't done any physical working out activities since the Olympics. So I'm letting my body rest in my downtime since I'm retiring. And compared to front lay, which is fully blind. Ooh, jeez. That was a tough peel right there on high bar. Hopefully he's all right. We're moving on from there. On to vault for Air Force. Cause 1.5. Not enough juice on that one, unfortunately. Hopefully the next guy can rally some momentum back. And David has the ponytail. All right, we'll keep an eye on him. Looks like high bar guy is still down. That's a hard hit right there. I'm sure those mats. Nice that he had a sting mat to land on, but not sure that can always be enough for you. Yeah, he's taking a look. A lot of concussion protocol with a fall like that nowadays. Got the athletic trainers making sure he's all right. Doesn't have too much daze in his eyes. And Kara, you just finished your meet in Georgia. Hope everything went well. Always wishing for a successful competition. I know it's the start and things can be tough, but you know, as long as you had fun and enjoyed it and felt like you have a lot to be proud of, you can always hope for the best for you. You feel like Air Force has been increasing their difficulty in the last few years? I hope so. I know their head coach Josh is really all about pushing their difficulty, and I know he wants to take that program as far as it possibly can go. I think they dropped off a little bit last year, but it was a hard year for a lot of programs with COVID and figuring out how much you can work out, when and where. Let me move myself as we get into this high bar routine. Let's hope for some big high-flying releases to keep you guys on edge. This is a nice Yamawaki. Got devalued to a C this year, unfortunately. And we're going to have to check in on that afterwards as we go into vault once again. Let's see if we can rally back up from that first fall on vault. Garrett does a Yuchenko double full. Very clean. Love the Yuchenkos for that. No pre-flight deductions when you are coming in on that. And a tucked double-double to stick. You don't see that very often. Going to bring a lot of momentum for his team and everyone that's rallying up behind him. And then P-bars. We got a nice peach into the Moy. He's got great control. Oh, pirouette. What do you got? Is he doing a Healy after that pirouette? Oh, no. He's just going right into the Diamidov. Oh, took it to the shoulders. But, hey, that's all right. He worked through, followed up with that front uprise. Just needs to take a breath and recenter himself. Got that Stutz into the what looks like is going to be a peach support. And Andrew, you only wanting to do commentary, ever consider podcasting. I'm interested. I can't say I love being on podcasts, but I'm not sure I have if I want to start my own podcast. I can't say I have the passion for it. And, ooh, tough front uprise. Tough peach support, actually, going to his upper arm. And a cause 1.5. Love to see that. That's a little more start value. Looks like they're ramping up in start value for Air Force on vault. Going from one to the next. Did they make the on the bar, off the bar connections allowed for this quad? Yeah, so if you do a half talk into a D value or higher skill, you do get a connection bonus of 1/10. Which is very exciting because we're going to hopefully see a couple more half talk Coleman's or half... Actually, I think there's some stipulation where a half talk layout Tkachev, maybe it has to be an E or higher. And so half talk Def, half talk Coleman, you'll see those. But I don't think a half talk layout Tkachev is going to be able to grant you that 1/10 connection bonus. But if you are doing a D to D connection of 2 releases, you will get a 2/10 start value bonus. But I'm very happy that they brought that back. I miss seeing half talk releases and full talk releases as well. Unfortunately, full talk Yamawaki got devalued to a C, so you're not going to see that connection very much. But maybe you'll be able to see some double under grip full talks. Oh, handspring double front. Not sure. Looked like his butt touched the ground. But always exciting to see a handspring double front. Such a powerful vault. And it takes a powerful person to put that down on their feet. And half talk is still a D. We got a little bit of a fall, a little stall in here. And was thinking the on bar, off bar might be the reason for the Yamawaki seat. Yeah, they just didn't want to see too many full talk Yamawakis. I think another reason they devalued the Yamawaki was because a lot of people weren't... There was too much discrepancy between is it a Veronin or a Yamawaki. And that was bringing... a lot of people just weren't doing it with the extension and the chest open and back to the bar like they wanted to. So they just devalued it. And, FIG always has a reason for everything. Sometimes I don't agree with it, but I think in this case, I think Yamawaki just brings up too much discrepancy between, start values, execution, and, it's a controversial skill, and I think making it a C makes it less controversial. And we got some good releases there, starting with the Yamawaki layout to Tkachev, followed by a straddle. We're not seeing as many connected Tkachevs as I thought we would be seeing, but I think that all comes with time. As you master one, you'll be able to bounce right back into the next. But I've always been a big advocate of it because it shortens the length of your routine and gives you more start value bonus. Danny, maybe we'll see full talk to Wallstrom. I would love to see that. And you might not get many guys that can do the Wallstrom out of a full talk, but, I think that would be an exciting skill to be done. I wish I could say we were going to see one of those tonight, but I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, a lot of people piking the Yamawakis. That's really why they wanted to create that discrepancy and make it a C value. Just so people don't get hit harder than they need to if they're connecting it into something else as well. Looks like a nice clean start to the parallel bars. Nice. Yeah, I would also love to see a full talk double undergrip to a Winkler. If I could see that, that would be a very exciting day. And a half talk to a Def, you're pulling those two connections right there. I think you're doing something very special. If you could start with a Casina, go layout to Tkachev to a straddle, and then hit your full talk. I'm going to do a blind change, full talk into a winkler, and then a half talk into a def. Pike endo up, which we're not seeing many of those. Those actually got upgraded in start value as well. In-bar stalders and in-bar endos are now a C, where straddled in-bar stalders and endos are a B. But I have not seen anyone doing that, which I thought would be a lot of bang for your buck. But I think it's becoming clear to a lot of gymnasts that that's a harder skill than everyone's making it out to be. I know every time I tried that, I struggled. Oh, we're jumping over to pommel horse. Been a little while since we've seen that. We're seeing some great circle here. Looks like we're coming into the dismount soon. Oh, no, not on the straddle cut. That's definitely one where nerves is getting you. Looks like his wrist support was coming off on there as well. Always a shame to see that, because he looked like he had such great circle on that Magyar Savato. Great start on high bar. Huge Coleman, my gosh. Into the layout to Kachev. Wonderful. Now we got a straddle. Oh, it looked like he could have connected that into a pike right there. Nice quast. Into the Rebalco. Very great turning. He's hitting his angles really high, which is a very difficult thing. Has great mastery and great basics paying off. Into the dismount. Double-double. Small step. Wonderful routine. That is a big routine for them right there. Certified pommel horse moment. Yeah, we definitely panned over at the wrong time right there. Yeah, lots of kids are going to learn in-bar, stalder, and endo. That's going to be a big move. Honestly, a lot of basics going to have to be done in the club programs if we're going to see a lot more of those nowadays. Requires a lot of flexibility. Double pike. Nice finish on the parallel bars. ASU right there. Pushing through. At least I believe that's ASU with the yellow pants. Sun Devils doing their thing. Yeah, nerves are definitely going to get you on a horse, that's for sure. Wish we could have seen how he finished up. Feels like he could have done an endo Healy too. Yeah, you know, some people would rather just do the endo without the Healy, because you can get a lot of turning or angle deduction on the Healy. So maybe you do an endo Healy, which is 1/10 more than just an endo, but then you get 3/10 off for doing the Healy, and your net is still -2. So, you know, you got to look at that at the same time, but you can only hope that, I mean, I guess based off that last high bar guy, he was really good at his turning element, so that might have been beneficial, where, you know, if you can do a perfect endo, it might still be worth it, because I think you're going to get 1/10 off on an endo Healy regardless. But all varies on your talents and skills. Everyone's got different ones, and the code plays to other people's strengths. And this is a great flow on pommel horse right now. Great extension. Looks like a taller athlete, and the taller guys always seem to have a little better look on pommel horse. There's so much more control, so much more amplitude. Wonderful rhythm. There's no slowing down. Right up to the handstand. They're going to be really happy with that. Oklahoma coming back on pommels, doing their thing. And loads of people finish turns too late, even at Worlds. Yeah, you know, and, you know, that's part of coaching. What's going to be more beneficial? What's going to get you more bang for your buck? Is start value more important, or is the end-all score the one that matters most? Or do you just want to risk it, and maybe sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, and you just got to put on the best show in competition? I missed the start of this high bar routine, but I can only imagine it was an exciting one based off the routine before. Yeah, Danny, a lot easier to maintain momentum if you got that length on pommel horse. You're trying to get TJ to do the McCulloch on pommel horse, you should chirp at him about it. I'll definitely put in my 2 cents for him, Tony. Don't you worry. Glad to see he's trying to learn it, though. I know he's got his scissor full to the middle, so that's where it starts. That's where it starts. I'm going to see if I can find some scores for you guys on, let's see, Windy City Invitational. Oh, this is tough. If anyone's got any links they want to send me for scores for Rocky Mountain Open or for Windy City Invitational, I would love to have it because I am not very good right now at doing all this stuff. I need to delegate. I need to delegate some responsibilities. Or I just need to be more prepared. That's probably the option, but on short notice, this is what we're working with. Looks like we just got one more guy on. Maybe there's a couple more guys on parallel bars. It's definitely an event that goes by slower. Requires a little more time in the warm-up and chalking up those bars. That is no easy task, doing that with speed. And he's cruising through. ASU's really stepping up their game a lot. Putting down another hit set. Looks like he's about to crank into the dismount. Double tuck. All right. Glad to see it. Not sure what just happened on Palm Horse. It looks like he's just getting ramped up. That wasn't a fall. He's just about to start. And time to see how they handle it. And just kidding. We're not going to see how he handles it. We're going to go to high bar. These rotations are longer than I was expecting. And the stream is choppier than I was expecting. Well, I guess I can take this time to see. All right, and then we're back. High bar. Kovacs, very nice. Had some really good height there. Layout to Kachev, very nice. Into the straddle. Ooh, he had great pressure as he was catching that. Into the Stalder. Oh, hey, there we go. We got our first in-bar Stalder, guys. Just talking about it. We're going to see more of those coming in the future. Small little step on the dismount with the half and F out laid out. Great routine. Honestly, got really excited to see that in-bar Stalder. Someone's using the code to their advantage, and I like seeing that. And have they shown floor and rings? We haven't seen much of floor and rings in this rotation, at least. Unfortunately not. We've primarily been focused on P-bars, high bar, and we'll pan over to horse every once in a while. City Invitational. Live scoring. Let's see what we can pull up. All right. Now back on parallel bars. Yeah, we've got a lot more guys going. I think this rotation might have just started. Tiny Taru, this is the Rocky Mountain Open happening in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy. All right, and then scores for this meet. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sending me that. If only I could copy that. All right, and then I'm going to see if I can pull up one more thing. There we go. All right, and then I'll be able to keep results going on the side and be able to tell you guys what's going on. We got a little bit of lull. So right now we have Nebraska is in the lead. I think this is because we're halfway through a rotation, but maybe not. We will see at the end of this rotation if this is still the case. We have Nebraska taking the lead right now with a 286.4. Oklahoma with a 259.65. Stanford is in third with a 259.1. So that is a very close call right there. ASU has a 243. Air Force is at 224. Rocky Mountain Pride is a 144. And Stanford Boys Gymnastics Club is at a 53. So very interesting stats with these top three. I'm very interested. That's a close call between Oklahoma and Stanford right now, fighting for second. But Some part of me feels like that is because Nebraska might have had the first score in. But you never know. I have not seen enough of this competition to be able to tell you one thing or the other. And high bar is definitely popping off right now. Let's see. Good straddle to Kachev. Things are going well. All right, Danny. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching and hanging out. Hopefully things are going well. And you get some good sleep, all right? Yeah, Stanford, Oklahoma, Nebraska, ASU, and Air Force. Okay, that makes sense. So we're going to see how things pan out after this rotation. When scores are all settled, I'll let you know who's in the lead once all scores are accounted for. But thank you for the update, Danielle. I appreciate you sending that information in as well. And yeah, there we go. So Oklahoma is now in the lead with 273. Not sure if they're done yet. But on vault, the highest score we got is a 14.7 from Curran Phillips. Parallel bars, Blake's son from Stanford with a 14.8. J.R. Chow on horizontal bar took the lead, is in the lead with a 13.9. Wow, honestly, I thought Curran's routine was going to be the one that was winning horizontal bar. Wish I had known what routine that was with the grainy quality we got. But Pommel Horse, the leader, is a 14.45 from University of Nebraska, Charlie Giles. And Rings, Fuzzy Benas from Oklahoma, 14.2. I didn't know Fuzzy went out to Oklahoma. Great to see him. He was a junior national champ many years, and now this is his I don't know if this is his debut season with Oklahoma. But good to see his name out there and on top of the scoreboards. And on floor, we have Sam Phillips from the University of Nebraska with a 14.2. And Fuzzy Benes is winning the all-around with a 55.9. Very exciting stuff. While the stream is just completely paused. All right, looks like we're rotating. So we're going to see how these scores all end up going into the final rotation. Or not the final, fourth rotation. We're going to refresh this. All right. Well, it seems like Stanford's down 14 points, so I think that we're still waiting on a score to come in from them. And let's see. We're going to go with team stats. All right, so Oklahoma, they have put up some big scores on vault with the 71.05. Let's see, Nebraska. They've been around the mid-60, or what is it, 68, 65 on floor and pommel horse. Really good scores. And then let's see who else we have. I am not seeing any of the Olympic Training Center guys here at all, which is a little bit of a shock to me because I thought they were competing at this competition. So maybe they are not doing it and they've all pulled out, which might be all right, but we shall see. We shall see. I'm gonna have to have a word with Shane. I'm gonna reach out to him. And is the college code the same as the international code? Yes. Yeah, they do not have any differences between the two. They are equal, and I think that's the way to go. And Yuka, Shane is there? I saw a score for Shane on floor. Okay. So maybe they're just not tracking their scores because they're not a part of the NCAA. And Shane and Robert competed on floor. Awesome. Do you know their scores by any chance? Love to see how they're holding up. And they showed some of Shane's scores earlier. They are there. All right. Well, maybe I'll just have to take another look on the page. Let's see. Yeah, at least not on the Rocky Mountain results page am I getting any. But I'm hoping Shane did well, and Robert as well. Let me see if there's... Let's go events. We'll check out floor. Oh, Shane Wiskus, a 14.15 on floor, so he did really well. Charlie Giles got a 13.95 from Nebraska on floor. So those are the top 3 standings. Good to see. Good to see Shane did well there. Robert Neff got a 12.65, so he might have had some mistakes, unfortunately, on floor. And then let's move on to pommel horse. Shane Wiskus, a 13.25 on horse. Glad to see that he's putting up some scores there. Pommel horse is the leaderboards being taken up by Nebraska and Arizona currently. Oh, I guess that was Nebraska that just competed on pommel horse. And Oklahoma is not going to get there till later. And Stanford is currently rotating to pommel horse. So we're going to see how these events pan out in the future. Rings. Let's see. Oklahoma seems to be taking the leaderboards with a lot of mid-13s. Air Force Garrett Broughton, 13.75 for second place behind Fuzzy. We're going to go to vault. Kern Phillips is leading with the 14.7. He must have stuck a cause 1.5 nasty. Or I think he might do a Yuchenko 2.5. Probably a stuck landing with a 14.7. And then Oklahoma is very consistent with 14.4s to round out the rest of the rotation. It looks like Air Force is getting things started on... Oh, nope, not yet. Just about. On parallel bars. Still warming up, though. Still warming up. Let's see. And then looks like rings is getting started. I'm not sure what team this is. Coming from horse, that's got to be Nebraska. And they're looking really good right now. So I'm gonna check the team results. Looks like Oklahoma is beating Stanford by 0.4 going into this next rotation. Nebraska is 4 points down. So the top 3 are still close with a closer battle between first and second. Oklahoma is currently leading. And as they go into... What event is their next one? 4th. They started on rings. So they should be going into pommel horse, I believe. No, that doesn't make sense. They should be going... I don't even know where they are anymore, guys, because my math is not adding up. Oh, Stanford is doing their live stream of their rotation on Instagram. That's smart, honestly. I think more teams are going to be doing that nowadays. Yeah, no, Jackie, Shane did a really good job on floor. So hopefully I could see some big high bar scores from him as well. He's been working hard on getting that routine perfected. So fingers are crossed for him. I'm always rooting for that guy. Great character. So yeah, Air Force is on P bars. So that would mean OU should be on floor because they're going to end on pommel horse. Let me move me out of the way. Oh, nice controlled start for Air Force on parallel bars. I like to see that. Diom. 2 hand movements, 2 tenths, not too much to worry about. Stutz into the front uprise. He's taking his time, making sure he's got a good headspace and he's controlling everything. Very short routine though, with a double pike to finish that out. It looks like high bar, we have the Sun Devils doing their thing. And I believe this is Nebraska on rings then, right? They started on parallel bars, so that would make sense. And then they're going to end on vault because we're in the 5th rotation. Stanford on pommel horse. This is going to be a crucial event for them to bridge the gap between them and Oklahoma before Oklahoma goes into pommel horse. Because rings is also... Ooh, tough start, unfortunately. The pressure is definitely coming in We'll see if Tom makes him repeat the skill or not. Matthew, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's going to be a tough call. And we're going to pan back on to Air Force's team for parallel bars. Just chalking up right now. And Stephanie, we need you to do this for the Olympics. I would love to. I think I need to get a little more practice in there. Not sure if he repeated the skill. I don't think he did based off the information that we got from Brian. Tom does not like them to repeat their skills. But it seemed like he cleaned up and finished strong. It's going to be a tight competition between Stanford and Oklahoma now, and that doesn't help Stanford's case, but they're allowed to have one mistake. And, you know, it all depends on how they balance out routine for routine. Oklahoma does have a lot of good scores on pommel horse, so I'm interested to see how that all pans out. This is a great P-bar routine from Air Force right now. He's got great lines, great control on his swings. Healy and Dion work was phenomenal. There you go. And yeah, Brian, I don't think he got credit. He didn't do the circle out of it to show complete control before he fell. So I'm assuming he repeated it, and the YouTube just didn't show him repeating the skill. But it seemed like if he did repeat it, he continued well and finished strong. And that says a lot about his ability to put the struggles behind him and finish one good one for his team. And we've got a straddle Tkachev on high bar for ASU. Into a layout Tkachev. That's interesting to start with the straddle, unless he was attempting to connect that and decided not to do it last minute. Some people find it easier to connect a layout after the straddle because they can get better pressure into the continuation of the release. And they're going to finish up with a half in, half out dismount. Ooh, stayed on his feet though. Stayed on his feet. Way to fight for every 10th right there. Better than a fall. I've got some Yamawaki work going on rings over there. And what rotation are we on? You checked out for a bit. This is rotation 5. So we got 2 more events to go if we're counting the start of this rotation. And I would love to see a little bit more of the floor pommel horse dynamic going on between the leaders, Stanford and Oklahoma. I'm sure they're doing a lot of exciting gymnastics. Granted, this is an Air Force stream, so I can't be upset about that. Show as much of your boys as you got to. But I'll have to keep you updated with the scores as I see them come in. It looks like... let me go into the team stats. I'm going to pull up Stanford. So I can give you guys the spicy information. Oh, a great Makoots from Air Force right there. Wonderful Healy. Everyone's just got such great control of these skills right now. All these support skills are just blowing up with this new code. A little short on that handstand hold. Always something that bothered me the most is that they deduct 3 tenths if you don't hold a handstand. But easy tenths to save in the future. I'm sure he'll take that one back to the film as he studies his routine with his score later. But, you know, a hit's a hit, and the team's always going to be excited about seeing that. Let's see. On pommel horse, Luke was the start for... Oh, no. Maybe I've got this all backwards, guys. Stanford, sorry, Luke from Stanford got a 12.25 to start on pommel horse, which means they need to have a very consistent rotation if they're going to try to take the lead away from Oklahoma. Looks like Nebraska's having a knockout rings rotation as well. They've got a lot of energy coming from their corral. I got a great Tkachev from ASU on high bar. It looks like Spencer Goodell. Oh, there we go. Now we've got a little bit of floor and pommel horse action. Let's see what we've got. A 1.5 full stuck landing. Mark Williams does a really good job of showing controlled on their landings. They take a lot of basic tumbling to make sure they can knock that out really well. And yeah, so far Oklahoma has a 13-4 and a 14-05 on floor. So good scores, and they've just got more depth to come. So excited to see how they finish out this rotation, and hopefully Stanford can bounce back from their start. And it looks like they have Coy Young with the 14-05. He's a very talented freshman for their team. Looks like it's the first event he's competed today too. Very strong junior. He is a part of the intermediate program into the national team, and he's been being invited into all of their senior national team camps. And so he's going to have a very bright future. He does a lot of difficulty on pommels. Wish we could have seen that. He could potentially score way better than that, but not sure the routine he put forth today, because I think they might just be trying to go for a clean hit set and not risk it when they start their rotation with the fall. But glad to see him hitting sets out there. A 14-05, that's a hit routine for him. I'm glad to see he's debuting his collegiate career with a hit. And, almost a stuck landing to continue the excitement for Nebraska on rings. Yeah, Brian, Stanford does have an uphill battle, especially with rings being their final rotation. That's going to be a little difficult, but it also depends. You never know how the pressure will be handled by Oklahoma going into pommel horse for the final rotation, knowing that they're going to be ahead of Stanford. Is that going to be enough to knock them down, or are they going to be able to rally and hit sets? Because I think if they hit sets, I think their pommel horse scores from OU will be comparable to Stanford's ring routine scores. So if OU goes into this next rotation ahead and they hit their routines, I think it's going to be safe to say OU has the victory on this. But we have a lot of gymnastics to play out, and I'm excited to see, because it's going to be a close one. And they must be doing 5-up, 5-count all season at this point. That's crazy that their first... Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case as well. And yeah, sorry, Dill, I took the sub alert. Thank you for subscribing, though. I appreciate that. And half the Air Force team was out with COVID the last couple of weeks. Won't surprise me if the other teams had similar issues. Yeah, no, Stanford has a lot of... I know from just talking to Tom that they have a lot of COVID issues as well. I'm sure every team is definitely taking a hit. Not sure the depth of ASU or Nebraska or OU's, but it's safe to assume everyone's short-staffed right now. And Stanford, he repeated the tongue fei. He struggled, but he fought through. He wanted that start value and definitely needed it. It seems like it's a tough battle for them right now. A couple falls on horse isn't going to be very helpful, especially if there is a 5-up, 5-count policy in place right now. Right now we have Garrett on parallel bars for Air Force, and he is a very powerful gymnast. He's been putting up some big scores today, so I'm excited to see how he handles this routine. And he does have a very high start value here, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to see most of it. Let's see. And so, yeah, OU, not the best score. I think that was a 13-1-5 from Radel Gamboa, but seems like that was a hit nonetheless, and will probably score a little bit better than Stanford's. Riley followed up with the 13-5. We might have missed that routine on pommel horse, which is good, but I don't think we've logged the most previous routine with a fall for Stanford. And we're just jumping all over the place with this stream, guys. tough call, but all you have me is a radio at this point, tracking scores for you guys. Looks like we're going to have a pretty exciting routine for... Oh, the hand slip for Arizona on the endo up, I believe, or on the follow through for the Yamawaki there. Definitely a shame. It happens. You know, gets the best of us every once in a while. Almost pulled through. That could have been a miraculous continuation if he had finished the routine after that, but unfortunately backdooring the Giants out of there. And yeah, the buffering is an issue on their end. This is the stream we get on YouTube from Air Force, so we're just working with it right now. And Doreen, it's 5 up, 5 count the entire season. I appreciate that information. Thank you. So yeah, it's definitely a tough hit for Stanford then. And that was a huge double laid out on floor. Nice double front. The C dismount on pommel horse there. A little tough hit to the start value, but hey, you know, we'll take the hits right now. They're short-staffed, and I think they're getting a lot of the guys who don't compete too often some experience. So love to see that they're growing, and that team's going to be a really strong one as we go in later into the season. Hopefully COVID doesn't take all the other teams out and leave them short-staffed as well. But this floor routine is looking really clean. A lot of control, looking very confident. Let's see if he can continue that throughout the rest of the sets. And no high bar save will ever top that one Epke save. Yeah, I think that was 2017 World Championships. That was very exciting, and man, that got the crowd going. And there we go. Dual meet format, team scoring modified. Yeah, that makes sense. I think also it's just best for them to get right into it. They already have a lot of practice throughout the years of doing the 5 up, 5 count, and you know, I guess that's the way it goes. I have my own opinions of how the NCAA should be run in terms of just benefiting the national team, but I can't always look at it with that mindset. So I miss the days where you would have a 6-man team with 5 scores counting at NCAAs, and then prior to Winter Cup, you'd have a 6-man 6 guys up, 4 scores count. So that way you could have a lot of guys chucking the big routines, not feel like they're going to be penalized too hard. You have your 4 guys that are really consistent and allow your top guys to really push the start value. If your first couple guys had mistakes, then you would be able to maybe do a easier routine, just go for clean hit sets. But I'm a big fan of advocating for high difficulty routines, especially knowing where our position is for men's gymnastics, being further behind than other countries in terms of start value. So, and the NCAA is really the basis and the foundation of the national team. What you do in the NCAA is going to be a comparison and a direct outlier to play into the level of difficulty going into the national team. So when I was going through the NCAA, there was a big reward system for high-level gymnastics. As we switch into the 5 up, 5 count format, a lot of guys just try doing low start values that are clean, which pans out well for the NCAA, but internationally, that's just not going to cut the cake. And if you don't have guys in the NCAA chucking big routines, you're not going to be having guys in the international scene chucking big routines as well. You might have a couple guys, but you would like to have a lot more competitive start value competition between teams. At least I would. And that's my own personal opinion. But we're going to stick with the 5 up, 5 format as of now and, you know, keep things rolling this way. So keep things very exciting. I mean, 5 up, 5 format is exciting. You have to hit. And a lot of coaches will advocate for that. And I agree. You do have to hit. But I'd also like to see people chucking big routines and hitting those big routines as well. And you just feel like Stanford is being slow. Don't know why. Well, they've had quite a few mistakes. Whenever you have falls, the rotation slows down quite a bit. It looks like they have put up their 5 scores. We have Ian put up the 12-2, I think was the last routine we saw from them. Riley scored a 13-5. Coy got a 14-05, and Blake's son 13-2. So those are some good routines. The 12-2 and the 12-2-5 from Luke and Ian are definitely going to hurt, especially compared to OU, who went. Oh, 1 second. Who went with a 14-1 on floor from Fuzzy. I think that double-double laid out was Fuzzy. 13-4, 13-1, 14-05, and 13-2-5. That is a big 16. That's almost a 68 for Oklahoma on floor, and on pommel horse that was a 65 for Stanford. So, Oklahoma definitely increased their lead a little bit going into this final rotation. It's going to come down to how well Oklahoma's going to hit, because I'm sure Stanford's going to be very consistent on rings. They're going to absolutely, I can't say they're going to have the biggest start values or their scores are going to be significantly greater than the potential of OU's pommel horse scores, but if OU has a drastic rotation on horse, there is a chance. And you can never count them out. Not until the very end of the competition. And yeah, there are a lot of awesome freshmen this year. It's extremely exciting. And then let me move myself. Looks like everyone is moving into the rotations. Let me get some final score counts for you guys for the team results, now that the results are in. They're saying it right now, but I don't have, can't really hear what they're saying all too well. All right, we have team stats. Nope. Meet status. So Oklahoma is up by 3 points, like we predicted, and University of Nebraska is down by 7.8 points. So 4-point gap between Stanford and Nebraska, and a 3-point gap between Oklahoma and Stanford. We have in 4th place Arizona State with a 314, and Air Force with a 287. And Rocky Mountain Pride with the 207, and Stanford Boys Gymnastics Club with the 65-4. And not seeing any other results for the USOPC guys, but we will get there when the time is coming. And you've noticed more people are training a full twisting double back off parallel bars. Did that element get raised? No. So more people are doing it because it's a G. Did not get raised, but they devalued the double front half, and that has now become... So if you want to get a couple more tenths in start value on your dismount, doing a double front half used to be way more worth it because it was an F, where a full in was a G, and you're more likely to stick a double front half than take a 3/10 hop or a potential fall on a full in. However, now that the double front half is gone, the full in is now more of a reward to do versus all the different E value double front dismounts or back double pikes on P bars. But if you do a double pike front double pike off parallel bars, that is an F and could be more worth it. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more options, a lot more of those this season than we will be seeing more half in, half outs. But the half in, half out is still a really cool skill, very high level, very difficult, and earns a lot of respect from your peers if you do it, especially at the end of a routine. And John, no, this is a Rocky Mountain Open right now. We have Stanford, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Arizona, Air Force, and Rocky Mountain Pride all going up against each other. And we're into the final rotation. We have Oklahoma leading the way over Stanford with 3 points, and Nebraska following 4 points behind Stanford for a total of 7 points behind Oklahoma. With Oklahoma going into pommel horse for their final rotation. So let's see if they can hold the lead on the most pressured situation or pressured event that you can perform on. And Stanford's on rings, and Nebraska is on vault. And I'm sure they are going to just be banging out those vaults left and right. They have a lot of energy. They're very fun to watch, and I'm sure their momentum is going to play to their favor on vaults. And you've seen at least 5 guys Oh, 5 Russian guys training that dismount? Yeah, Russia's built differently, that's for sure. And 100%, I believe that they're going to be doing a lot of half-in, half-outs. And that was a great high bar routine for the Falcons right there. Hoops doing his thing, closing his night out. Seemed like he improved from the start of the day, ending on a great high bar routine. And well, if more people start doing the full twisting double, they'll probably devalue that as well. No, I don't think they will. I think they'll keep that at a G. It is as hard as it seems, and even if more people do it, I think FIG wants to see an exciting dismount being done like that, and I don't think they're going to devalue it. They really only devalue skills that get abused or don't seem to be as difficult as they are worth. That's worth doing. Like when the Coleman got devalued from the F to the E, that made sense. It was a lot easier doing a Coleman, and it was, it shouldn't have been 2/10 higher than a Kovacs. 1/10 seemed appropriate, but I think the full in on parallel bars will stay a G, but you never know. I can't predict the future, but even if a lot of guys do, I would just be greatly impressed with the talent, and if anything, that will just be the playing field. It's all relative in the end. Plug for Kinsley. She's live tweeting the meet if you want some scores and info. I'll have to tune into her tweets to make sure that I'm not saying anything that's incorrect. Always love Kinsley for keeping me accountable, though. And she's great at what she does, and really big, passionate fan for gymnastics and keeping us all informed in what's going on. And always found a good front uprise at the end of her routine was so hard for a double front dismount. Everyone seems to be doing them fine. Yeah, Brian, once it started becoming a little more popular and a little more worth it, you just find a new regular. Whatever once was hard, if you can train the proper way to make it happen, you're going to be able to pull it off. But it definitely is hard, especially when you're gassed at the end of your routine. You have to really build your endurance to do a great front uprise for a big double flipping dismount forwards. And you bet all the Russians are required to start training Liukin on floor at level 6. I wouldn't put it past them. I know they're doing a lot of work with their juniors, and they have a really great system for their junior national team to transition into the senior national team. And the U.S. is actually adopting a system very similar to that right now. And the triple back on high bar, exciting gymnastics. We love to see it. A shame that he sat it down, but practice makes perfect, and I know the more he gets of those under his belt, he's going to be sticking them in no time. And you like the commentary? I appreciate it. Trying to keep it fun and exciting, and it's honestly easy with gymnastics. Do you think they should allow connection on parallel bars? I do, but only for certain connections. I think if you do a Healy into a front 1 1/4 or a skill immediately after, it should totally be worth it. If you did a Bovsar into a Tapelt, I think that should be totally feasible. Even though the only person that could ever do that, you have to have insane shoulders to do that. That's just an example. Michael Reed's the only person I've ever known that could do something like that. But I think those skills should be good. But if you break the skill with the front uprise, I don't think you should have connection on parallel bars. But FIG doesn't seem to be in favor of those rules, and that is well within their right. They make the rules, we follow it, and we, as gymnasts, make the best effort to do our best to score as high as we can with the rules they give us. And bring back the front handspring triple on vault. I don't think I would love to see it done successfully. However, I don't think we want to ever see someone do it unsuccessfully. And for that risk, we are not going to be seeing any more handspring triple fronts. Finishing up the routine on rings. Great giant. Great control. Big dismount. What is he doing? Double. Stick. Oh, Stanford's bringing the heat. Look at that momentum. That's the type of thing you want to hear from Stanford right now. You want that adrenaline. You want that excitement. You want to get loud so you can shake OU over on the pommel horse right now. It all matters. It all plays a factor. When things get loud and it's in your favor, it's just going to set you up for the next guy. But if it's not for you, it's going to make the other team start looking around at you, and it's going to get really interesting to see how Oklahoma handles this situation. Speaking of which, it seems like they're hitting consistent. They've got a 13 to start, 13-5 to follow. Not huge scores, but they seem like clean sets that they have hit. And with Stanford on rings, they start with the 13-6-5. So, and with that last routine, I have a feeling they're going to score a little bit higher, but they need to bridge 3 points to take the lead. And they're going to score a little bit higher as of now, but is it enough to break the 3-point gap? I don't know. Time will tell. And following up on high bar fall, but he came back. Nice straddle to Kachev. Great quast. And he's going to finish it up with a dismount double-double. I feel like these guys have... oh, that was Garrett there. I wish I could have seen... He does some very big high-flying releases. Cassina, Coleman. Not sure how those all panned out for him. But he fell on something, unfortunately. And fingers crossed that it went very well for the rest of the routine. And he can still come out of there with a smile. What is my catchphrase going to be? You know, I'm going to wait till something comes organically. I'm not going to force it. Or maybe I'll say something and you guys will keep that. You'll call me out on it and I'll make that my way. I know the choppy stream is unfortunate, but we got to do what we got to do. And Michigan just tweeted this, 65-45 score on horse for us from the first rotation. Love it, love it. That's a good score. Where we sit in first through 3 rotations with the team total of 202 with Illinois and Ohio State trailing. All right, well, glad to see the Michigan Wolverines in the lead for now. Let's hope they can keep pushing the envelope and they can increase that lead more. But best of luck to everyone competing out at the Windy City Invitational as well. And we'll stay tuned to see how that all progresses. And we have a 12-7 for Radel Gamboa on pommel horse. So their lowest score on in the rotation so far. Not tragic, but seems like that's a score that was a little bit shaky. But seems like it was still a hit nonetheless. And we have Stanford, who pulled up another 13-6-5 from, I think that was Brandon Nguyen on rings. So 2 very good scores to start for Stanford on rings. And that was a wonderful peach that we're seeing. Is this Shane Wiskus? This is. He's supposed to do a Healy out of there, but that's all right. Maybe he took it out or just didn't feel comfortable enough there. We're getting to see the national team do their thing right now. Good front 1 1/4. Let's get that Bobsar. Wonderful execution. Love to see it. He's going to follow it up with the Tapelt. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now, is he doing the double front? Or did he upgrade to a double pike? Just the double front. Hop backwards. All right, glad to see Shane out there hitting sets. And then we're back to OU on pommel horse. Not sure what that was, but OU seems happy, and they are getting juiced. That looked like a great extension for the end of a routine. Stamina is no issue for this guy, and another hit under the belt for Oklahoma. Not looking good for Stanford, but they are definitely putting up a fight with these ring routines. Let's go, Shane. Great to see him out there. I'm glad I got to see his routine. And this is Leighton, the level 7. Thanks for commenting on this. It has been fun to watch it with you. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully we can do this more often. Hope you have a great season. Level 7's a fun time to be competing, and I'm hoping for the best for you, all right? And we're coming down to the last couple routines. I think this is going to be the anchor for Oklahoma right now. Waiting for the score to come in for their fourth guy. We have Oklahoma. Oh, Vitaly has already gone for Oklahoma. He got a 13.15, which is very, very respectable score. Or was that Vitaly who just finished? I can't say. I think that was Braden Collier, actually, because we have a 13.5 for OU, and it seemed like they were really juiced about that last routine being a hit. And I know what Vitaly looks like. I don't think that was Vitaly on that last routine. The final routine for OU on pommel horse. Let's see how he can handle the pressure. Big moment for them. Scissor full to the middle. Got an E flop to start. Seems like he's got great control of his circle. Nice E rush into the middle. Down to the side. We got a front woo. Great. This is some very high level gymnastics. Into the Fedochenko. Into the Roth. Into, finished it out with a Russian. Back more up. Big dismount. Right into it. That's another hit set. No errors at all. They are excited, and I think Oklahoma is going to take the win for the Rocky Mountain Open today with that final pommel horse routine. We have ASU on floor. Nice double-double to start. Opening up really well. Arabian double front. Very controlled. We've got Stanford on rings with a whip it to a straight planche. Very good construction, being able to get a B to a C right there. Into the giant. Now he's going to get ready for the dismount. Half in, half out. Step backwards. Very clean look right there. Hoping for some good scores for Stanford nonetheless. Curious to see how they stand up against Nebraska right now. Nebraska seems to have posted their final score of a 404.35, which is 3.35 points behind Oklahoma. And Stanford, having just done their routine, hasn't gotten their score yet, but they need a 14.45 on that ring routine to beat Oklahoma. And I don't think they're going to be able to get it. I think they would have had to go lights out on that last set, but it's going to be a lot closer. They bridged the gap from the 5th rotation to the 6th, most definitely. I'm proud to see them coming in with a lot of energy and finishing out this competition with their hearts all out on the floor. We're going to see how this final score, and there, oh, it has not come in yet, just kidding. The final score for that pommel horse routine was a 14-0 from Zach Nunez. He's going to be up there in the top, I think that's top 3 for pommel horse today. So congratulations to him on that. Way to handle the pressure. That is a tough situation to be in. And I'm glad we were able to watch him pull through, because that is a lot of hard work and dedication that he's put over the past couple months to be able to handle something like that in their very first competition of the season. So great for Mark for taking the victory today. We're going to see if we can get that final score coming in soon for Stanford. Rings, we had Mark Balaga had a 14-2. That is a huge score for rings. Set we didn't get to see that one. Must have been the 4th routine for their rotation. And still waiting for that final score to come in. And Eric, thank you so much. This has been really fun to watch. You have a couple of athletes competing in college right now. And when you get a chance, you stream their competitions. And their commentary is a welcome addition to it. Keep it up. We appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with me. It's been a lot of fun being able to do this for the first time. Hopefully I could do more of these in the future. And yeah, I guess I'll keep you guys updated if more of these start happening. And Doreen, thanks. This was fun. Glad you guys had a wonderful time. Brian was supposed to compete for Air Force. Injured his elbow Thursday. A little bit bummed. Well, fingers crossed that he's able to heal up quickly. Injuries are never fun, and I can only hope for the best. But being able to bounce back shows a lot of resiliency. As long as he's enjoying it, having fun, and has a great team on his side to keep him motivated, I have all the best hopes for him. Let's see. Still waiting for... And there, the final score is in. Oh my gosh. That was a lot closer than I thought. We have Stanford in second place by 3/10. 3/10. They really went lights out on that ring rotation. My gosh. I am very... Let's see. So Stanford had a 69.25 on rings to close out. And Oklahoma had a 66.4 on pommel horse. Wow, and with a great pommel horse rotation from Oklahoma too, they really, I really underestimated Stanford's ring rotation. They bridged the gap by 3 points almost. So good for them for being able to come back and make it as close as it was. I thought it was going to be a shoo-in for Oklahoma. You can never put anything out there too confidently with this sport, but glad to see that it was such a close competition, and great for Stanford for bouncing back and making it such a close one against the rock-solid pommel horse rotation from OU. And Eric, the competition for Michigan is still going on. I'm getting a couple updates here and there, but very exciting day of gymnastics. Great start to the season for the NCAA and a couple of the USOPC guys as well. The last routine was Mark Berlaga, a little kid on the Stanford Boys Club. When you were there, nice to see him come full circle. Well, yeah, he did really well, so glad to see him tearing it up, and happy that that went as well as it could have gone. Brian, I don't know if you said it was going to be an uphill battle, but did you think it was going to be as close as it was? And did I ever get around to watching Kengan Ashura? No, I haven't watched anime in a while. It's been a minute. Been doing a lot of IRL things though, so I've got that to keep me going currently. And never underestimate Stanford. No, that is a law of gymnastics. Never underestimate Stanford. No, I definitely don't. I know that they're still my favorites despite this competition going into the NCAA season. But yeah, you did think it was going to be close? All right, that's what I like to hear. Glad to hear. I'm going to need you to keep me on my toes going into these next competitions. Stanford has won the last two NCAA championships from behind on rings. That is true. That is true. Where was Oklahoma? What events did they end on? But I didn't think they were from behind on rings, were they? I know 2 years ago it was, but I didn't know about last year. But yeah, no, knowing that now, that's going to be a very big, a very instrumental part to their season. And it seems like Oklahoma is going to have to work on bridging the gap between them on rings as well. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a blast hanging out with you guys. So thank you again. Let's do this again in the future. Hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful